Hello everyone, Froe here, and welcome back to our Let's Play series. We started this episode off with just a small expansion to our storage room here. We added 15 more double chests. The main rationale for that is we already added we used up 2 more storage spots on Cinnabar and Sulfur, and I know in the latest snapshot that just came out today, they added like a bunch of new blocks. And I think there's a bunch of stuff I haven't even collected yet in this world. So, you know what? It's a good idea to future-proof our storage room. Plus, I was getting annoyed having our shulker boxes take up space over here. So now we kind of have a more dedicated location for them. Next, let's take a look at what we've done with the red tower between episodes. I didn't notice this, but that window, and I think that one, I think these 2 windows were just plain open. Didn't have glass in them, so a little bit of an oversight there. I also spent some time exploring that second map we placed here. So the ocean is pretty well defined now. You can see our coast, the environmental destruction where we collect all of our grass and stuff. And I also labeled a bunch of cool things along the way. We could probably do the same thing for the western maps. I didn't really touch those. But you know what? This is a forever world. We always have time to go back and do that kind of stuff. And I also decided how we're going to finish decorating the top of the tower here. So we're going to just keep a lot of the items that we had in the first red tower. I kind of just packed them into a shulker box and put them away in storage for now. And these are the only pieces. Oh, let's see. Frosty walkers, I think. Nope. Exploration gear is going to be on the left side. I think this is armor I made and put in the red tower like a very long time ago. But I remember thinking at the time like, oh, I could have different sets of like super suits dedicated to different tasks, like one of them exploring, one of them boss battling. The idea never panned out because as you progress through the data pack, the items you're able to get are just so strong and have basically all 3 components that you only really need 1 set of armor. And then for these 2 spots, I wanted to place mob heads. So we'll probably place Etho's head right there. And we'll do this one at a diagonal. And there we go. Kind of a finished little decoration up here. Keeping it pretty basic. We can always come back and add to it in the future. I like to do that with my builds. I like to redecorate them from time to time. And then obviously we have this beautiful view still. Pretty much everything you see, except for way off over there, I suppose, is pretty much finished world at this point. Even like a large portion of the water over here has been like fixed up, added with sand and seaweed and stuff. And yeah, overall, I mean, the red tower is looking pretty sweet. It's a great addition to the world. The next step then I think is I want to clean up this area. I was kind of playing around with the new sulfur blocks. I was thinking maybe we could incorporate them in the build somehow, but I don't really think that we're going to do that. Instead, I want to turn this little area into like a garden. We're going to keep the garden pretty basic. First thing we're going to do is just kind of level off this pad so we have a nice clean area to build from. I did want to say thank you for the great responses on the last video. I know I've been gone for a while. I still play Minecraft quite a lot, but there are like months at a time where I don't touch the game too. So that kind of makes it tough to record as well. But I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm back in the groove of things a little bit here. I think we're just going to do like a mud brick border. Something like this. And then some plain mud in the middle. Or hardened brick. Or what is this? Mud bricks? Packed mud? Yeah. I wonder if we make these larger, if that would be a better look. Yeah, it's better when it's not so jagged. And just kind of an odd shape. Maybe we push this out 1 more. Do something like this. And yeah, that'll work well enough for the garden, I think. And spent some time just adding some foliage and life to the space, so this is kind of what we ended up with. And I think it turned out pretty great. Decent enough. And it's not like we're going to come hang out here and spend hours a day here. It's just kind of a nice little area to pop your head out, enjoy the views a bit, and kind of just add a little life to the area. I also went through and did some like droopy leaves. So kind of look at that from a distance. Yep, the droopy leaves really bring it home. They're exactly what was needed. Otherwise, that stone face there was just kind of plain. Right, and then this is the actual tower itself and everything else. I think that building could probably be redone as well. At least the base of it. The top of it looks pretty cool. Hold on, I gotta fix my SFOV here. Right, like this whole building is actually pretty cool. It was just built to house, I think it's just a monument to house like a pair of elytra wings that we had to sacrifice. Right, they were like our first legendary pair, and I think we ended up dying with them or something. Yeah. And it looks pretty cool, having them like floating like this. We have the beacon beams. The upstairs portion of this is pretty cool. It's the basement, right, this bottom level, that is probably could be redone. So I guess we could actually add that to the to-do list here. We've had this just kind of sitting here for years now. So I took off these three, the end battle date decider, the recycling machine, and the armory with auto-equip from the sign list there, because they are technically completed projects. And I just labeled episode 79 because that's when we added them to the book. And I went through and I added a Fenix statue, and then redo the Elytra Monument Tower. I also removed the Ender Porter hub idea. I think a while ago I was going to do like a big central hub, but I think doing smaller hubs like this will probably be easier to manage long term. And I'm sure there's other things we can add on here. I added the moss farm, but that's a pretty good start for kind of keeping track of our to-do list here. The fancy item dispensing system was supposed to be just like a fancy way to display our unique loot. And I had an idea for it, but I don't think it works anymore, so maybe we'll take that off too. Actually, this is kind of crazy. So I found this book that I titled Operation Realization. I was going to try to do like one huge episode. This is like probably more than a year ago now. I was going to try to get like all of these projects done. BBB is the bee breeder building, I think. That building is done. The villager breeder, that's done. The villager converter, that's done. We're not doing an ender porter hub, so I'm going to mark that off. And battle decider, lava farm, furnace array, wax farm building, I think is done. The red tower we redid. The cactus EXP farm. Mob farm area is fixed up. Yeah, quite a lot of that actually got done. Spider farm is fixed up. Bucket trades, I think, is done. I mean, a lot of this actually got realized, which is awesome. We're not really going to use this book, so I'm just going to park it here. And we're going to kind of continue to use this system to keep track of everything. So I think the only other thing we want to add to this is auto wheat and carrot and potato farm, so that we can continue to get emeralds from villagers even easier. I added a kelp farm and then the villager village, which this is the villager village over here. My only goal was to kind of just have fun, try new build styles and try new blocks. So we got like Tough, I think that's when Tough first came out, and Packed Mud, Bamboo, right? Just trying new build styles. It's kind of like a playground. And eventually this whole village will be filled with cool little whimsical houses and villagers running around too, so that'll add some life to the world. Well, let's focus on what we're going to finish up today. I want to build a Phoenix statue, right? A Rise of the Phoenix statue, because this is kind of a reboot of our series. I think Sulfur is a great block to use, so we're going to use that for the body of the Phoenix. We're going to use red sandstone, so we might need a just whole shulker box of that. I think we want smooth stuff, to be honest. So we'll just throw these inside of here and let them smelt up for a little while. But yeah, we're going to build a Phoenix statue as kind of a monument to signify the rebirth of our series here. And I'm kind of thinking, you know, we got a new red tower there. We have some cool views of this area, this direction from the path up here. And also from our new garden, we can kind of look down below here. I'm thinking the statue would fit really well on that little island. All right, let's take a pause there and just analyze what we have going on here. From a distance, this is what we're seeing. I was thinking the sulfur block would be like the underbelly of the Fenix, so to speak, right? And then the orange is more of like the fiery feathers that Phoenixes are more known for. And I think, it looks pretty good if we drop down to the ground here. Right, I can tell, at least, using my imagination, I can tell that it's a bird. It looks like it's standing kind of upright, like it's flapping its wings, kind of like in an intimidation tactic, so to speak. And yeah, I definitely like how it's turning out so far. I do think that we should probably add like a third layer. So we have like the yellow underbelly and then like a flaming orange coat of feathers. And then orange terracotta is a bit closer to the red hue. So it's a little bit more fiery-ish color. And so that way we have a good kind of like transition between the colors here. And I think we can make these like really jet out and add a lot of detail to the Phoenix here. And I also think maybe getting rid of the beak may help a lot. All right, I just wanted to show you a bit of the peaceful scenery here of our little garden. I'd say it turned out pretty good. It's cozy. The firefly bushes add a lot of ambiance at night. And I also wanted to show off the finished Phoenix statue, which I think turned out pretty awesome. I think if we zoom in just a tad bit here, you'll be able to see some of the details. I don't know. I think that probably could still work more on it. Right? Like the base could probably get fixed up and worked on a bit, but wow. I think the overall build turned out pretty good. And here's a daytime shot of it. I think having that fire like that is a pretty sweet detail. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to do that in normal vanilla Minecraft, right? We had to disable fire spread for that to work. But I think it's worth it. It looks really cool. And I think I already had fire spread disabled. I don't think I had actually disabled it for this. Because when I was doing my testing, the fire never spread. So I guess that kind of answers that, right? And here's just some flying around shots. If we take a look at the back. Right, overall, it looks pretty good. Oh, we got a little fox. Yeah, it adds a lot of detail to this area. It even looks good from the back, which I think was important. Right? And here we got a giant hole. Don't ask about it. I have a pretty bad habit. New recipes unlocked. Interesting. I have a pretty bad habit of when I'm done building stuff, I just drop everything into a shulker box and deal with it later. But I'm going to get some landscaping supplies together because I think we're going to... let's see, where do we have our leaves? I think our leaves are over here. We're going to decorate that island and kind of make it all polished off and finished. And then we're going to place a sign kind of indicating when we built that statue and kind of rebooted our series here. I don't know where my dandelions are. I want to kind of go with some like orange and yellowish colored flowers because I think that'll match the Phoenix statue better. I will bring some of these, I suppose. But I don't know where any of my dandelions are. I thought I had a whole bunch of them. I think the last place I remember having them was in the mob farm. Because I don't think flowers can grow on Mushroom Island. But this is technically a different biome here, so I think that's why we put this down here. Do we have any flowers? We got bone meal. Here we go, okay. Yeah, we got tons. I'm just going to grab a couple stacks of these for now. And yeah, I'm not 100% sure on the Phoenix statue, so let me know what you think and give me any suggestions. The biggest thing I can think of is I like the wingspan here, and I like the orange wingspan, but like the third layer, the shape just kind of gets a little goofy. Right, I was supposed to have, like my thought process was to have like these trailing blocks that would be like fiery feathers kind of shooting off. And I think that effect looks really good, but the shape itself of the wings looks a little goofy. Like I kind of think maybe I need to shave off some of the blocks right there so that the wings have a little more shape to them. But yeah, let me know what you think. Episode 79, series reboot. And how do we want to do this? Probably just kind of start with some leaves, thrown all around. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. And let's lay some flowers here. These look really good when they're kind of grouped together, like so. Can you just break these? Oh, you need a shears. Okay. Those you can just bone meal. Get some of these going. Good stuff. We got the island all decorated here. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. Overall, pretty happy with it. From my opinion, right, I can tell, at least. Granted, I'm the one that built it. But I can tell that it's a bird of some kind, and since it's on fire, I think you can safely assume it's a phoenix or something like that. The scale of the build is what makes it, in my opinion, challenging to really get that phoenix look. Like I saw a lot of builds online to kind of trying to gain inspiration from, and they were all just huge and ginormous, right, to be able to fit in all the details they wanted. But this is good enough, I think. Cool. Next up, I wanted to talk about a new tradition I wanted to start with you guys. We've never fought the end dragon in this world. So I'm thinking, let's see, we need bounty and some diamonds. Grab all of those too, just in case. I built this building a very long time ago, and I briefly showed it off earlier in the video. But right over there is the end battle deciding building. And the way it works is pretty simple. It's, you put stuff in it. I think we put it in here, maybe? No, not there. That's for that. Where do we put this stuff? Right here. Okay. So we put a diamond. Let's make sure this is cleared out. We'll have to clear, well, we can do it now. Right. Put a diamond in here. It doesn't have to be a diamond necessarily, but I don't know if it did anything. I just forgot to turn the machine on. My bad. But let's talk about the redstone. Basically, these are like, think of these as dice, right? And so every time you throw a diamond in, it's gonna roll the dice. And if these dice hit a certain number, then it will turn on this redstone, which will roll another set of dice. And if this one turns on, then it will move on to the next mechanism, which I think will fire like a firework and start a fire or something, indicating that like you've won the jackpot. And in this case, winning the jackpot means we get to go kill the Ender Dragon. But let's just show off a little of what this looks like. So if we throw in just some cobblestone, we'll hear music. Oh, that's pretty good. It's pretty rare. Each of those sounds you hear is it running once, right? One cobblestone being processed. And if I've done my math right, there's about a 1 in 15 chance of hitting the jackpot, so to speak. So we're going to kind of test that by just throwing in 16 items. Right, there's a 1 in 30 chance that this side hits the jackpot and 1 in 30 this side does. And boom, look at that. It happened right away after just like 3 items. Once the jackpot is hit, the lights stay on. And then that fire, because of fire spread being off, I think will stay on forever too, which is pretty neat. But obviously the probability of hitting the jackpot was too high, so I tweaked the numbers a bit. And I actually changed the redstone to do so. So it used to be that either that side or that side could win the jackpot. Now they both have to in order to actually make the flint and steel go off. And that dramatically reduces the probability of hitting the jackpot overall, right? Basically, the numbers work out to being 1 in 2 of hitting this, 1 in 3, and then 1 in 4. And then you got to multiply that by the other side as well. So another 1 in 3 and another 1 in 4. Put them all together, you get 1 in 288 roughly. Obviously, it's a video game, so it's not going to be an exact science. But yeah, basically what we're going to do is we're going to put diamonds into it. Every episode, we'll just put a handful in, and the episode that we... Whoops, wrong one. The episode that we win the jackpot, so to speak, is the episode we will go to fight the End Dragon. And these are pretty much all the diamonds we have in the world. I had a bunch, but I put them away in secret storage. So we're just going to throw half a stack in here and see if we win the jackpot or not. I do like how there's like music, feedback, right? Pretty cool overall. Well, we didn't get lucky this time, but that's alright. We always have next episode. We're going to throw in some more diamonds. Like I said, though, we do have a problem. These are pretty much all the diamonds we have in the world, so it kind of gives us a reason to go mining again, which will be exciting. I haven't done that for a long time. And yeah, it's kind of fun to get this tradition up and running. It's something I've had as an idea for many, many years now. I mean, that building is probably like 3 years old at this point, or perhaps even longer. So kind of cool. But we're going to end the episode here. I really appreciate you guys watching, and thank you for the awesome feedback in our reboot episode last time. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.